Hello, and welcome back to the Mobius Archives. This is your host, Mobius Rex, and we are playing Kerbal Space Program, version 0.23. Last time we were here, we tried to make it into orbit. We didn't. So we need more power. Or something. We have lots of research we can use. We have 62 science. Which is lots. We can have this liquid fuel engine. We can have larger fuel tanks. But remember, these fuel tanks, they're about the same as these ones. These ones? No. These ones. These ones doubled. So that's 180. These are 360. Not a big deal. They're also the same mass. So it's kind of a trade-off. It's not particularly great to get either of them. This one gives us radial decouplers and stabilizers on the launch pad, which makes for bigger and more power. Generator is always active. Huh. So with these, interesting. So there's a generator on there that is always active, and it always outputs 60 electric charge per minute. So if you have something attached to it, but this is a launch pad, so I'm not entirely sure how useful this would be. And that's very curious. That's a new one for me. I didn't know that about the stability enhancer. The stack tri-coupler. It has... well, it's a tri-coupler. So it allows you to have 3 engines underneath that, which gives us a nice shape. This is for space planes and airplane type stuff, so it's useful, but I don't feel like it's the way to go today. This track, however, this survivability track, does lead us towards additional science. So my toss-up is between this one, which is an early one, and this general construction. I'm going to take this, research 47, and it leads us to here, which gives us our science junior, which gives us more science. So I'm going to take this as well. We're left with 2 science and a few more chains on the research chart. Here, the mobile processing lab. This is one of the newest items available in Kerbal Space Program. It allows you to improve the return, improve what you get on science tools on transmission. So it might increase the science transmission by 25% or something like that. It's heavy, 3.5. I'm guessing that's tons. Mass. Not entirely sure. So we'll eventually try to get up to here. It'll improve the science, but it doesn't generate any science on its own. Also, voltaic panels at this fourth tier? Is that the 4th tier? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, if you don't count the start. Alright. So let us... that was weird, I was going opposite direction I was dragging. So let us build something. Standard stuff. Utility. We always want to have a parachute on here. Now what we want on here is the stuff we want to take back. Science Junior, sure. We could slap a decoupler underneath Science Junior. On top of Science Junior, however, we want to maybe have a couple of these pods, goob canisters, to take observations as we're running about the stratosphere. I wonder how heavy it is. 0.15. We can have lots of those. And I'm placing these individually because I can. And let's add this comms panel to that. Now there's a chance that all this stuff on the lower stage will fall off as we're landing, so we'll have to see what comes of that. Alright, so that's our lower, or last stage. Here, let's see. So utility, we have landing struts. That might give us a little bit more survivability. Survivability might allow us to have a little bit more structural integrity when we crash down on the planet. Not entirely sure if this will interfere with Science Junior, but I'm gonna put them on regardless. Now, if you take a look, I just hit, actually, just right-click. I was thinking shift right-click. So you could start with these retracted or deployed. Not entirely sure what locking the suspension does. So we can start out with a ship that has these already deployed. And let's just add. Oh, come on. Come on. One more for good. Well, unevenness. But good enough. Where's our center of mass? Oh, smack dab in the middle. Good. More or less. Alright, so that's going to give us a chance to use all this. I don't know whether we'll be able to access Science Junior. We'll find out. But let's get us some... So we have the decoupler already. So let's get us some additional propulsion. Alright, so what do we have? We have... Well, hold on. Maybe what we'll do is have this lower powered liquid engine. So it has a max thrust of 50. I'm not sure what ISP means. No idea. But it sucks down less fuel per second maximum. So that might give us a little bit better control. And we'll use that as we return to the planet. Let's slap on a little bit more things. A few more things. So this one holds 180, that holds 90, so I think I want that. Yeah. So this is our get into space solid or liquid fuel rocket. I'm going to use a thrust vectoring rocket there. So we're using 3 of those. And we will try structural, thank you, to have 106. 6 solid fuel boosters on top of that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And assuming I actually place them right this time. Yeah, that's better. That one, they're actually on these decouplers. So fire, decouple. I want this liquid to start there. Alright. Let's call this... Bill Kerman's... Spacey Sprocket. Just because, in memory of Bill. In memory of Bill's first death in Season 2. Alright. I'm calling this season with the new patch, these recordings with the new patch Season 2, just to differentiate between the earlier versions that I played. Alright, let's give us some structural, thank you. And now... Center of lift is way down there. If I add these winglets, I can move where that center of lift is. I think what we want... Ooh, our center of mass is way down there. Ooh, come on. Center of mass, center of lift... should be more or less... I don't know. I don't know what the rules is for center of thrust, center of lift, etc. etc. But hopefully that'll keep us on target. Not depleting too much from our SAS. SAS, from our electrical. And speaking of electrical, I've completely forgotten to add any of it. Probably don't need too much. But they don't weigh too much, and that'll give us a lot to use. Okay. Jebediah Bob. Jebediah's back in rotation. Let's go ahead and use Jebediah. Sure, why not? Get down to launch. Alright, everything looks stable. Throttle up. And our goal is orbit. Our goal. So I'm aiming for 100,000 for our orbit. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. SAS on. Try to keep us stable and steady. I'm trying actually to control our rotation. Just so that we can keep it a little under control. What's that? It's probably a flag. Heading straight up until we actually get rid of these solid... Where's my... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Getting a bit out of control with this spinning. Drop these guys off. Why? What? Where's my... What happened to my engine? How far are we going? 25,000 meters. Alright. What the hell happened? Where'd my... Alright. I don't entirely know what the hell happened to my engine. I'll use this to help slow us down to keep most of our science. In fact, I'll try actually redirecting us. I keep on saying I want to go over there. Might as well try to do it with what we have here. Maybe we'll do a flyby. Maybe we'll survive landing. If I can get my orientation right. That way. Heading that way. Throttle up. We don't have particularly much liquid fuel. But, we'll see. Whoa. If we can change our destination any. It looks pretty good, but our resources are pretty limited right now. We're either going to do a splashdown or actually make it there. Can I turn this any better? No. Because I just ran out of fuel. Alright. Alright, well, ditch that stage. And I was planning on using these to give us a nicer, softer landing. Because I don't think observing the mystery goo while flying at Kerbin, we don't get too much from there. This, we should get something. Observe the materials bay. Less resilient samples appear to have splattered around the interior, forming new and interesting color combinations. Keep that. Not sure there's much else we can do here. Keep that. Or recycle that. Report. And we get 3.5 science from that. Keep that data. We should be fine. We won't try an EVA in the atmosphere like I have before. Not particularly useful information coming from that. Might as well start slowing ourselves down and just wait for us to land, see if our goo canisters stick. And might as well keep all the data that we can. See, unlike last time, transmitting this data would give us nothing. And this is just like 1.6 science if we are able to capture it. Alright, I'm going to get back to Kerbal Space Center and be back with you guys in a second. Alright, so I've adjusted our ship. The problem was that this engine was actually sticking out down here, so on the landing pad, it must have fallen off before we even took off. So this should give us better. Now, something else I discovered is if we land in water with just this bottom part here, the science bay is going to rip off the top. So I'm not entirely sure how to make that more structurally stable. Our best bet actually seems to be if we land on land as opposed to in the water. So if we're lucky, we'll be able to do that. All right, we'll try to plan for that. All right, to orbit. Who's our crew? We'll give Bob a chance to fly. Save. Launch. Alright. Think we'll make it today, Bob. You had a little rest? Alright. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. SAS on. Before we forget. This one doesn't seem to be turning, so that might have been due to... Our rotation problem might have been due to the liquid fuel engine falling off. This one seems to be a lot more stable. Coming up through the first quarter of the thickest part of the atmosphere. We are heading a bit north. That's okay. I would ideally... Oh, I clicked a button and we started rotating. Not good. I'll wait until we ditch our solid fuel boosters before I do anything like that. Throttle up. That. Not entirely certain what's going there. We were going really fast, I guess. So that was giving a lot of burning. I'll throttle down a bit. Just as long as we still keep on going up. Let's just take a look at our apoapsis. See what we're doing. 50,000, 51,000. Good. Alright. Everything seems fine from here. Let's just do a crew report. Assessment situation and just in the upper atmosphere. Don't worry about that. Let's see where we are. 80,000, that at least gets us into space. We want to go past space, so I'm actually going to start turning over now. We're in the far upper bit of the atmosphere, so we're not fighting against the air anymore. Target is 100,000. Oh, and we're well past that. So, this is going to be a bit harder to move now. But we're going to wait until getting towards our apoapsis to just burn. And try to elongate our orbit this way. And actually, well, make it to orbit. We have lots of fuel. We have our lander engine as well. And it should help us get back down on the planet. Do I have crew report? Near Kerbal, but we've already done this. Last. Review report. Reset. See how far we are. 120 is out there. We are currently at 105. I'm going to even start burning now, just a little bit. I'll change where we are. Start throttling up as we need to. I'm actually surprised. Oh, there it is. No, that's not it. That's all the other things that we have going on. Alright, 116. Let's throttle up a bit more. Get this changed into an eastward direction. So we're at 1/3 of power. Or is that 1/4? I'm not wholly sure. I'm imagining that's percent, but... yeah, we want to throttle it much more. Get this orbit moving out as we approach our apoapsis. Starting to fill out nicely. And that's our liquid fuel for this stage. We're burning out of it pretty rapidly. Actually, I think I can drop down a bit. These orbital mechanics, I'm not so great at. And we're actually pushing a lot of mass with these nearly empty fuel. So, my whole lander engine that I was thinking about using might in fact turn out to be... let's burn it all off. Ditch that. Let's see where we are. Alright, so my lander engine may turn out to be our get into orbit engine. Let's see what that does to us. Let's throttle up. This is all we've got. So this either gets us to orbit or it doesn't. I would like to get to orbit. We only have 28 liquid fuel. And we're well past our apoapsis. The apoapsis is the best point to actually get into orbit. However, if he gets stuck in orbit, we're pretty screwed. No way to get him back until we figure out docking. Yeah, he's pretty screwed. Or maybe not. He's going to enter the atmosphere far side here, but without any liquid fuel. So, that provides us a bit of a conundrum. Mostly how to get us down without blowing up our ship. But, let's do what we can from orbit. Observe the mystery goo. Or near orbit. Space near Kerbal, so that's not particularly useful. Materials bay. This is still useful. It'll get us 25 science if we can actually get it back to Kerbal in one piece. And I have doubts of our ability to do that. Crew report. Nothing there. EVA. EVA report. And nothing there. Alright, get back on board. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Well, near orbit, almost orbit, may have wanted to have a couple extra engines to push us farther. Maybe one or two fewer solid fuel boosters, because those pushed us really far, really fast. That we even had re-entry for effects while going up. So we might want to keep an eye on that. I'm going to speed up time a bit until we do re-enter. Not really throttled up. Until we do re-enter the atmosphere. And then we'll take it as we can. Alright, we've re-entered the atmosphere, but it looks, unfortunately for me, that we're going to have a water landing. Just see. Maybe we'll be lucky, but this is going to come down really fast. We'll see. We'll see what happens and just let this play out. Well, it actually looks like we might be getting a landing in the middle of a continent. It looks like that from this vantage. So here's hoping. We've got more than a few thousand meters to go. But we are seeing some re-entry effects right now. I'm just letting our momentum bleed off most of this. I'm going to have to keep an eye on the parachute to see when it might be appropriate to start using it, but our speed is being bled off by the atmosphere, which is good. That's why all our friction is causing these atmospheric effects. But I will be able to deploy this chute soon. We have a lot of electrical charge, which will help. Just keep us straight up. And we'll see you in a moment. All right. We had a little explosive re-entry. I tried to save it while we were landing, but looks like we landed right above the highlands. If you take a look at the crew report, we're flying over the highlands, 3.5 science. Keep that data. And we might as well do an EVA. And give us an EVA report. A most precarious situation at 5.6 science. And Bob, just let go. Ooh, ouch. And we'll get some dirt. Put on your helmet lights. Can we look at the ship? Ah! And just grab some dirt. Okay, take a surface sample. Give us 9 science at least. Plant a fag. Is this the moon? By Bob Herman. Alright, now I don't believe that our jetpack can get us back up here. Can't even get us off the ground, actually. So we'll just recover Bob. And that gets us 14 science, but getting our ship back. Not the flags. Where's our ship? There's our ship. This should get us 42 science. Alright. Someday I will make it to orbit. Someday I will make it to orbit, but not today. Alright. This has been Mobius Rex for the Mobius Archives. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave us a like and subscribe. We release Kerbal Space Program every Saturday. We release Minecraft Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we are releasing Fallout 3 on Sundays. Alright, have a good day and a wonderful night. Bye-bye.